Skraby Show starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Hello and welcome into the Skraby Show for July 1st, 2026. Thank you for joining me today. It's going to be a tough one, everybody. I'm going to try my hardest to make it fun tonight, but it's going to be tough. If you're just getting in your car after work, you don't know the Padres score, or you know the Padres score, but you don't know what happened. Padres lose to the Cubs today, 23-3. They get swept by the Cubs, and starting pitching in general is a problem for the Padres right now. We're going to talk all about that as the show goes along, so don't you worry about that. We're also going to keep an eye on this Team USA against or United States versus Bosnia and Herzegovina game. It's halftime right now, 1-0. Team USA. So that's a good thing. I got to say, to my untrained eye, as someone who doesn't know much soccer strategy, definitely seems like the Americans are the better team in this game, but they have to keep it up. They have to make sure that they are able to hold out in the second half. They can't do what they did against Turkey and let them score late in the game. Anyway, listen to me talking all about soccer strategy and all of that. If you would like to watch the show, you can. You can go to Facebook and search 97.3 The Fan. You can go to YouTube, search 97.3 The Fan there as well. And then my YouTube at The Skraby Show, TheSkrab as in boy, Y, and then SHOW. Getting more followers there as well. Twitter at Matt Skraby, and then 97.3 The Fantasy. You can also watch there as well. And if you do have a comment and you would like to say your comment or get your comment read, you can come into the chats on the YouTube, and you can make your comment. If I see it and I can fit it in, I will. But someone asked me, what's the best way for us to ask a question? And honestly, the best way is through the YouTube chat, because I'm looking at it and I can reread it. I don't have to write down the question or anything like that. So again, 97.3 The Fan YouTube or the Skraby Show YouTube. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. I don't even know where to start, because this team is extremely, extremely, extremely frustrating. Last week, they sweep the Braves, one of the best teams in baseball, I think, at the time. Braves had the best record in baseball. Say what you want to say about when they caught them. They still swept the team with the best record in baseball. I'm thinking, hey, things might be turning around a little bit for this team. They finally are taking advantage of opportunities. They're finally playing good baseball. Things are bouncing their way. This is the turnaround. Well, it wasn't. It wasn't the turnaround. And the turnaround, well, again, let me backtrack a little bit. So they sweep the Braves, go into an off day. We're all feeling very good. Friday, they win 7-1. And I think that things are looking great for the Padres. I'm believing going into Saturday's game that they have turned the corner. That's what I'm thinking on Saturday. Then they get 15 runs scored against them. Then they lose Sunday. Then they get swept by the Cubs. And now you're in the midst of a 5-game losing streak. And I don't know what team is going to show up on a given day. I don't know. We've talked about this before this year. And I truly 100% believe in my head that things were going to be turned around by now. Now, call me stupid or call me naive, whatever you want to call me. But I truly did think that by this point in the season, past the halfway mark, they would have figured it out. They would have gotten their rhythm. They would have been playing great baseball by now. But it's not happening. It's not happening. They're not being consistent enough when they're playing well to go on these long win streaks. And they're going to need a pretty good win streak or a couple pretty good win streaks throughout the rest of the year in order to, make sure that they're keeping pace with at least the wild card, because we're not even talking division anymore. We're not even talking division. If it heats up later in the summer like it did last year, where the Padres had a chance at the division, then we'll talk about it. But I'm not going forward thinking that this is a division that's up for grabs. Dodgers, I think, are 11 games up, maybe even more at this point. So we can't even think about that. I got a chat here. Let's see. Jason 1904. Skraby, it's not just this year. Did people forget last year this offense also sucks, but it wasn't this terrible? This roster is not hungry. They already got paid. I would say normally I don't buy they already got paid thing, and I'm not going to say that they already got paid so they're not trying, because I don't believe that to be true. Do I think that when people get paid, do they maybe not work as hard? I'm not blaming or saying this about any of the Padres players because I truly don't know, but I can see the human element to it all. Hey, I got what I've been working for. I've got this big contract. I guess I don't need to work that hard. Do I think something like that is going on with the Padres? I don't, but I can't say that for sure. I would like to believe that all of these players are doing their best, and I truly, truly, truly do think that they are doing their best, but their best is not good enough to make the playoffs. Their best is not good enough to be winning some of these games. So either things are going to completely change in the second half of the year, or this is going to be a torturous second half. Unless this team somehow figures out what they need to be doing on a daily basis. Because I am not able to tell you on a consistent basis what team is going to show up. I know I already said that, but it comes back to that. And I think that's a lot of their problems. Jason said, extremely stupid. This team is just full of dumb players. I don't know, Jason, that they're dumb. Just because they're not playing well doesn't mean they're dumb. They're not playing well. And they are playing bad. Just straight up bad. Victor says Pujols would have had them rolling. Again, Pujols does not have a job with another team. If Pujols gets another job with another team and they end up going 162-0, then we'll talk about it. But I can't do the Pujols thing because, again, I actually don't think Pujols, I don't think Pujols would have been the right choice. I've said it. I said it at the time. Hall of Famers like Albert Pujols don't see the game as the same as other players. Say what you want to say about Craig Stammen. Jury's out. But I think Craig Stammen has a better understanding on a daily grind that the players go through. So I don't know that Albert Pujols would have been the best option for this team. Again, still a first-year major league manager. I think people look past that a little bit. Just because he hit a bunch of home runs does not mean he would have this team winning and playing well. But again, I don't know this. That's just my opinion. So if you think the Pujols would have had him rolling, let's wait until he gets hired, and we'll see what happens there. And then if he is a great manager, you can tell me I'm dumb, and I will feel dumb. So don't worry about that. I beat myself up pretty good. SDFC says, the offense isn't the problem. It's the minor league rotation. I think, pitching, we always say it. Pitching wins championships. Defense wins championships. Pitching is defense. And when you're going to throw out guys like J.P. Sears and Griffin Canning, it's not going to go well, especially with how they're pitching right now. J.P. Sears was always going to be a question mark. We didn't know what he was going to get. He had a pretty good outing when he made his season debut last week, but it was not the same. What he did the other day was not the same as what he did it at Petco Park. Walker Buehler today. Walker Buehler had a great month of June. Today was not a great day for Walker Buehler. I am willing to look the other way on this one for Walker Buehler, but I'm hoping it doesn't become a trend. And the reason I'm willing to look the other way on this one for Walker Buehler is because he has been pretty good. He's been the Padres' best pitcher. So, I mean, there are so many things that we could point to there are so many things that we could point to about this team right now. And really, there is not one thing that we could say will be the fix. If you go and you get better pitching, you trade for some pitching, is the offense going to score? And if you go and get some offense, is pitching going to be able to do their thing? Everything right now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Everything right now seems terrible. Everything right now seems like this is a wasted year. Everything right now seems like this team is just going through the motions at times. I don't believe that they're going through the motions, but this team has just not been the team that we thought they were going to be. And it all starts with the superstars not superstarring. Now, granted, Fernando has turned up the power a little bit. Manny Machado turned up the power a little bit. But, I mean, all aspects, all phases of their game right now is just not lining up. And even when they beat the Braves, I'm not going to take it away from them. But at the same time, like, I didn't necessarily believe that that was. Let me start that over. I didn't necessarily believe that they were going to go on some huge long winning streak, but I definitely thought they were going to build on it. I definitely thought they weren't going to go into this, weekend with the Dodgers, or last weekend with the Dodgers, and lose 2 and get 15 runs put up on you. By the way, it is the second time in the last 5 games the opponent has scored 15 or more runs against them. Pitching has given up 54 runs in the last 5 games. 23 runs that the Cubs scored today ties the franchise record for the Padres, giving up the amount of runs. And it's the first time they've given up 8 home runs to an opponent. They went 8 home runs today, the Cubs, 5 home runs yesterday, 13 home runs in 2 days. You're going to lose. And it's also very, very, very frustrating when you get a game that Fernando hits 2 home runs in and you waste it. And your team hits 4 home runs, I believe. Like, when your offense is doing that, you have to take advantage this year. There's no room for error the rest of the season. And unless something magical happens, we're going to end up having a really, really, really hard second half of the season. I know this sounded doom and gloom. I know this sounded like I'm giving up on the team. I'm not giving up on the team, but I am extremely frustrated with the team, and I'm starting to have those negative thoughts creep into the back of my head again. But at this point in the year, I think it's fair for you to think that this is the team. This team that we're seeing right now is the actual team. The one that we thought was going to be here before the year just wasn't. And there's some roster problems that we'll talk about here in the next segment. But really, it all starts and ends with the superstars not superstarring. Joseph says he's 100% convinced this is a wasted year. I can't go that far yet. Gator Padre says run differential went from -16 to -36. That's not great. That's not great at all. I don't think the season is over, as SDFC said. It's not. Technically, it's not. I'll be the annoying guy and say, hey, they haven't been eliminated from the playoffs yet. Because I am positive in that way. But what we've seen in the last 6 games does not give me any hope. Does not. I'm just being honest here. Just being honest. When we get back here on the Skraby Show, we're going to talk about, what Fernando has been doing. But we'll also talk about what I think AJ Preller needs to be doing to make sure that this team does not have a lost season. So we'll talk about that. Team USA, they are back to playing after the second half has started. Still 1-0 USA, 48 minutes in. So I will keep you up to date on that as well. All right. Hopefully, I can find some happiness in the break. When we get back again, we'll talk about what AJ Preller needs to do to make sure this is not a lost season.
Enjoy more ways to.
All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was going to say it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that.
No,
Sad Fryer says, "Are they cheesy?" No, they're not cheesy at all. Actually, they're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of Beaver Nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was going to say it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that.
No,
Sad Fryer says, are they cheesy? No, they're not cheesy at all, actually. They're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now, I don't exactly know. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I put a lot of new music in as these rejoiners, and basically my high school and college playlist has been put into the computer. So if you hear a bunch of like mid-2000s new metal, it's because I was in the height of the new metal days. Limp Bizkit and Trapped, as you heard, Puddle of Mud. When I was in high school, those were the big bands, huge bands. And I love Trapped. I love Trapped. All right. Skraby Show, Matt Skraby. You can follow me on Twitter at Matt Skraby. You could also subscribe to the YouTube at The Skraby Show. I don't think that I was overly, I got a text in the break. Hey, man, you're really negative. It's one of my friends. And I said, how can I be positive after today? He said, I'm not positive, but I don't want to hear you be negative right now. Well, I have to be negative right now. That's the only way to go about this. There's no sugarcoating what happened today. And now if they lose 4-3, if they lose 5-3, if it's a close game, I don't know it feels as bad as it does right now, but because they lost 23-3, because they lost 23-3, I think that is what is irking all of us so much. It was because 23 runs is an egregious amount of runs to be giving up. I wanted to go back to last night. And last night, the Padres did something for the first time all season long, and it was this.
2-2. Fernando launches it in the air, deep to left field. Happ is going back to watch. This one gonna go all the way out to Waveland Avenue in left field. Fernando Tatis, a leadoff home run here in the first. And the Padres hop on Matthew Boyd. It's 1-0.
Now, that hasn't happened all year. That happens, I'm thinking, all right. Things are working out. Fernando's now hitting leadoff home runs. Things are looking good. But what happened immediately in the bottom of the first inning? The Padres gave that run right back, which is something that I have been talking about. And so it was, JP Sears. I knew it was JP Sears. I just wanted to confirm. I'm getting Monday and Tuesday confused in my head. But JP Sears gives it right back. And then in the bottom of the second inning, Cubs get 4 runs. So by the time you go to bat in the top of the third inning, you were down 5-1. That's demoralizing. And this is not something that has just been happening in the last few games. I feel like the Padres have been behind this entire season. Now, obviously, I know they haven't because they've won some games, but it just feels like they're battling uphill each and every game. It's hard. It's tough. You cannot waste a game where Fernando has 2 homers. You cannot waste a game where you hit 4 home runs as a team. You just can't. Those are games you have to win. Now, on the other side, you can't give up 2 home runs to Dansby Swanson yesterday. You can't give up an Alex Bregman home run. You can't give up a Michael Busch home run. You can't give up a Pete Crow Armstrong home run. Like, you can't give it up. If you're going to hit 4 home runs yourself, you gotta limit how many home runs you give up. I mean, it's not rocket science. PTB says Merrill has looked awful since last year. You're right. I mean, his defense is good. His defense has been solid. I don't think we could say anything about his defense, but the bat since his rookie season has not been the same. And last year, I was hoping to blame it on injuries and the stopping and starting kind of year that he had. You know, he had the hamstring injury and then he had the concussion, and so he had to be on the IL a couple times. I don't I don't have any answers as to why things are going the way they are for Jackson Merrill right now. And I hate to even say this, but was the rookie season, I mean, it's not a fluke. I'm not going to say that he's not a good baseball player, because obviously he's a good baseball player, but what he's been doing at the plate since that year is not the same. It's not the same. And I don't know how you get him back to being the confident hitter that he was in his rookie year, but we're not getting the same type of at-bats. I'm seeing different at-bats from Jackson Merrill. I'm seeing him take pitches that could be challenged and not challenged. We've talked about the ABS challenge at the end of Gwynn and Chris. Craig Stammen says they may spend too much time on it. And I think that was a general thing to say, figure of speech. But I think ABS is very important. And certain players on the Padres just don't challenge. And I think when you have the challenge, when you have the opportunity to maybe change something in the game that benefits you, you have to take it. You have to take it. It's got to be the right situation. It's got to be at least a pitch that, you have a question about. But at some points where now the catchers are challenging pitches just to give the pitcher a strike or a chance at the strike. So when I say, and again, I feel like I'm being the most negative I think I've ever been. But when I say all phases of their game right now are not working, it's true. And ABS is a part of that. That's not working either. And I feel like it would be extremely stupid of me to say, hey, there's a lot of games left, because I have said that. But I'm at the point where they're past the halfway mark. I'm not doing that anymore. I cannot do that anymore because time is now. Like, they have hovered around 500 for as long as possible. And I will give them a lot of credit, because being above 500 for as long as they have, with how bad they've been on offense and how bad pitching has been in the last week, is impressive. It's impressive. Mike on the chat says, I hope they finish in last place. Why, Mike? Tell me why you hope they finish in last place. See, I'm not going to go there. I want this team to be competitive. I don't want them to finish in last place. That's depressing. Do we want to have shows like this every single game for the rest of the year? No. I want to talk about shows where the Padres hit 5 home runs and they win. But we're not doing that right now. Mike says he wants AJ fired. Okay. That may happen, honestly. I guess they did sign him to a long. I guess we don't know the actual length of his contract, and maybe the new owners come in and they say, "Hey, we want a fresh voice." You may get what you want. You may get what you want, but I will say, be careful what you wish for. I went golfing a couple weeks ago with a guy who was visiting from Philadelphia. He's a massive Phillies fan. So I just randomly got paired up with him, and we were talking about baseball. We were talking about the Phillies and Rob Thompson and everything like that, and how he got fired. And he was telling me, like, why do Padres fans hate AJ Preller so much? I would love to have AJ Preller as the GM of the Phillies. He called him Dave Dombrowski. He said he just doesn't do anything. He doesn't make big trades. He doesn't shore up the team like AJ does. And personally, I like that AJ is not afraid to trade. I like that. Why not? I believe it says it's more than the manager. I agree. It's more than the manager. I do. It's not just Craig Stammen's fault that they're not winning right now. Nathan said something I can't read. There's a lot of angry Padres fans right now, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you whatsoever. Let me see. Let me read this Caitlin one real quick. Blah, 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 blah. Caitlin says Preller needs to be launched into the sun. He's a cancer to this team. Stammen is a joke of a manager and is just a yes man. Preller should just trade Mayfield and Salas for a washed-up has-been like Chapman just to twist the knife further. His trades and contracts have screwed this team. I don't know how his trades have screwed this team. I'm pretty sure he just traded for Mason Miller. Caitlin, I understand. You're angry. A lot of us are angry. Do I think that AJ Preller is a cancer on this team? No. Do I think he needs to be launched into the sun? No. Although it would be fun to, never mind. I don't think he needs to be launched into the sun. I don't necessarily think Stammen is a joke of a manager. I think he may be slightly or more than slightly in over his head right now. I think things have not been going well for him. Something just happened in the soccer game that is a big deal. I think, did Flo get another yellow card? And now the USA is down to 10 players because someone got a red card. I'm thinking Flo got a red card, which means that he would be out for the second game. Or the next game if they move on. He got a red card. That's not good. Come on, Flo. Can't be doing that. You're their best player. Another question from Facebook. Is it time to tear this squad apart? Where do you start? Well, I start after the season, number one. But when we get back, we're going to talk about one player that I think the Padres probably should consider trading coming up here in the next month. We'll talk about all of the trade situations, all of that. I'll figure out what happened in this game. Apparently, red card. So Team USA is now playing with only 10 players for the rest of the match, and the American goalie just made a great save. We'll talk about who I think may be traded at the trade or before the trade deadline when we get back here on the Skraby Show.
Quinn and Chris.
Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break, and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me. Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm going to laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. It's not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk. My mouth is dying right now. Yeah, this is not fun, guys. Never gonna do that again because my mouth is on fire. Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me. Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. It's not that bad, though. I can't believe Chris has never heard this song. And I meant to remove it. I don't think he likes the first part of it. But I think it's funny. This is a great song. I remember watching this on TRL all the time. Matt Skraby back with you here on a pretty tough Padres day. They lose 23-3. They are in the midst of a 5-game losing streak. They got swept by the Cubs. They have had 54. They've given up 54 runs in the last 5 games. Second time in the last 5 games, the opponent has scored 15 or more runs against them. Things are bad. And I was thinking about this in the break. I've been pretty negative for the first 39 minutes of this show. But I will say baseball is a great sport. Because with 78-something games to go, 77 maybe now, that's plenty of time to figure it out. Now, do I believe that they're going to figure it out, or do I believe that they have the ability to figure it out? That's a question I don't know the answer to. Because I've thought they were going to figure it out by this point in time. They haven't. And again, it's extremely annoying, frustrating, especially since they have opportunities. They had 11 hits today. They had, I think, 13 hits the other day. So it's not like they're not getting on base. They're just not converting when they need to convert. And that's a recipe for a loss every single time. Let me see. There was a comment. Oh, Kathy says, my best friend's cousin is the lead singer of The Offspring. Well, that's pretty cool. Tell him we play his song all the time. Cole said, that's a banger. Thank you, Cole. Wolfpack says, time for a sell. Might need to eat some contracts. I don't think people are going. Oh, you mean get rid of those guys and then pay their contracts? That's not going to happen. Mike, I like your positivity. Call me delusional, but I think the Pods go on a tear coming out of the All-Star break. It did happen a few years ago. Cole says, what is there to sell exactly? That's what we're going to talk about here. And I saw Caitlin said, or not Caitlin, someone said trade Samad Taylor while he's hot. I don't know that many teams are going to be lining up to trade for Samad Taylor, but I'm happy to have Samad Taylor on the team. I think he's cooled down a little bit, though. The trade now, like we've gone through several different versions of this team this year. So originally, Padres needed bat. Pitching's fine. And then it was pitching is not fine. Offense is decent. But I do think that they're going to have to. Pitching needs to be addressed. Again, offense needs to be addressed. But I think pitching is probably the bigger deal here for the Padres right now. AJ Preller does have his work cut out for him. And as I said earlier, I'd rather have a guy who's willing to make crazy trades than just stand pat and keep the team that he has at the trade deadline. Greg says, I have nothing against Preller, but Fermin trade was bad. Preller brought in or kept garbage to replace the two pitchers that were good last year. Excuse me. I can't disagree with that. I did think the trade was pretty good at the end of last year. Freddie Fermin did some good things for the Padres, but I think maybe we're seeing a situation here where Freddie Fermin knew he was the backup catcher to Salvador Perez in Kansas City. So maybe the everyday workload for Freddie Fermin, no one expected that he wouldn't be able to handle it. So Stephen Kolek, I haven't looked to see what he's been doing lately. I know Ryan Berger got Tommy John, so we can't even deal with that. He would be out, and he has been out for quite some time. So we can kind of push that away for a second because he wouldn't be pitching for anyone to begin with. But Stephen Kolek this year, 9 starts, 4.15 ERA, 1.192 whip. Last start he made on June 21st, so 10 days ago. Wow, that's a long time ago. He only pitched an inning and 2/3. The last start he made was June 14th. He went 7 1/3, struck out 4, got the win. Stephen Kolek, it does hurt. It does hurt. Padres would definitely would love to have someone like Stephen Kolek in the rotation right now. Super West says, I think we have enough core pieces where we could be sellers and still rebound in 2027. Starting pitching should be the focus going forward, big time. Agree with you on the pitching. I just don't. I just don't know. Here, okay. I'm going to go into what I was going to say. I keep jumping around. There's only one player on this roster I think would get serious trade consideration outside of Mason Miller. I don't think that the Padres are even considering trading him, even though I know that some people think he's the best way to rebuild this team. I don't. I think you need Mason Miller, especially under the control that he has for the next 4 years. You're getting an all-star closer every year for less than you should actually pay for him. So a goal by USA. I know I'm doing many things at once, but 78th minute. Oh, they're going to call offsides. This offsides thing has been killing the USA. But the one player I think the Padres could trade, and we talked about it earlier, was Adrian Morejon. The one thing that he can do is he could come in immediately to a team, and if they need a closer, he could be their closer. If they need a setup guy, if they need a tough lefty out of the bullpen, there are plenty of teams that would line up to acquire Adrian Morejon. Now, he's a rental. The reason I'm saying this is because he's going to be a free agent next year, and I do not think the Padres are going to be able to re-sign him in free agency. He's going to go after big money. He's going to get big money, and he should get big money. But Adrian Morejon is the only one I could think of that could be traded. Jason Adam, maybe. He's gonna be a rental for a team as well, but he's not pitching well right now, so I don't know what kind of return you're going to get for him. Trade for Mean, Adam, and Crone into package for prospects and a mid-tier starter. I actually wouldn't be opposed to that. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. But again, you have to look at what team is what are teams going to value Freddie Fermin? What are teams going to value Jake Cronenworth at? There's so many different aspects to a trade than to just send the player. There's payroll, there's prospects and what you're getting back. There's a ton of things that we just don't really think about. So it's not as easy just to package those guys and go. John says, for the love of God, if a player is batting under 200, they should not be starting. I don't care who they are. Don't disagree with you. I don't know they have better. I don't know that they have better options at the moment. I have been told a couple times by Trevor Bauer. I am amazed the Trevor Bauer people still want to bring him in, even though he's pitching for like the Long Island Ducks. I think the Trevor Bauer thing has sailed. I think that ship has sailed. Although someone says a trash Bauer is better than Vasquez, Canning, and Spears. We don't know that. And you want to talk about, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. You want to talk about cancers in the clubhouse? I'm not saying he's a cancer. I'm just saying he brings a lot of baggage. Do you think that this team right now needs a guy who's going to bring a lot of questions to players that are struggling? Don't think so. Don't think so. And again, he's playing in I don't even know what league he's playing in. He's playing against the Gastonia Ghost Peppers. That's where he's at. Brandon says Ty France might fetch something. That's actually very true. Ty France is not a bad. I wasn't even thinking of that because you can't afford to trade any bats away right now. But he might fetch something. You're right. I don't know why the league doesn't value Ty France as much as we value him. I know he's not like a superstar player or anything like that, but he's a Gold Glove winner. He's been hitting pretty well for the Padres this year. And Team USA scores another goal. So the one was taken off the board due to offsides. I think they had like a free kick. I just looked up and they scored. So it's 2-0. Team USA about to hit the 82nd minute in the game. And by the way, USA is down to 10 players. Flo got a red card. Let's see. Wolfpack had a good one. Joe Ryan. I do like Joe Ryan being an option. I think that Joe Ryan is 100% someone that the Twins are trying to move. I think Joe Ryan would fit right in here. The other thing that we have to think about going forward is do we, us fans and us people on the outside, we are probably thinking that Joe Musgrove and Nick Pivetta are not coming back this year. Maybe they know something inside the team. There are those factors as well. Do we need to trade for another pitcher when we have these guys coming back? Personally, I know I'm not AJ Preller, and I know I haven't been I think you can't count on those guys coming back. You have to go forward thinking that Nick Pivetta is not going to return this year, and you have to go forward thinking that Joe Musgrove is not going to return this year. You just have to. So going into, thinking that those two guys are not going to pitch the rest of this season, Joe Ryan's not a bad guy to get. I think he might be relatively affordable. Padres do have some players in the minor leagues that could be used in a trade. Maybe not a lot, but they could be used in a trade. I mean, Cash Mayfield, I know Ethan Salas is probably off limits right now. Cash Mayfield named to the futures game. So there are guys in the system. All right, I think I've crushed the Padres as much as I possibly can right now. Because I have crushed the Padres. SDFC says something that I don't necessarily disagree with. Musgrove not coming back, and if he does, it will take him a year to return to form. Can't disagree. Can't disagree with that. I'll leave you with this last bad stat. Okay, I'll leave you with this last bad stat, and then I'll give you a positive before we go into the Daily Grape. After going 1-4 in March, they went 18-7 in April. They went 13-15 in May. They went 11-15 in June. They are 14-23 since May 19th. But the positive, they still have a lot of games left, and they have a winning record. I'm just going to force that positive out there right now.
What's annoying Skraby today? Let's find out. It's time for the Daily Gripe.
Okay, I also saw this. Maybe this is my Daily Gripe. Whenever something goes bad, I always get the team meeting people. When are they having a team meeting? I actually don't know that team meetings ever work. Do they work? Doesn't seem like they work. I've been a part of many Padres team meetings over the years here at 97.3 The Fan. Not a part of it, but I've been around for them. Doesn't seem like really. It doesn't seem like team meetings work. Actually, I think team meetings sometimes they can be productive for sure. But I also think that a lot of these guys, it gives you the opportunity to say things that you may not want to say. You're too emotional, and then you cause rifts and things like that. Greg says Sheets is the only left-handed bat in the lineup that's decent. He is. I like what Gavin Sheets is doing. He's going to have to hit better than 234, though. But in the last 7 games, he's hitting 353 with 2 homers, so I'll take it. I'll take good performances, but they're not putting those good performances together in order to win games. I forgot to say this real quick before I actually get into the gripe. PlayStation is no longer going to make physical discs in 2028. So no more games as CDs anymore. It's all going to be digital. I only have one game right now that's a CD, but I actually like the digital way better. Way, way, way better. You can just flip through the games. I have an external hard drive that I connected. All that good stuff. All right, here is the Daily Gripe, and it has to do with Wilson Contreras. Now, I don't think what he did yesterday, where he got in the pitcher's face, I don't think that was a bad thing that he did because, the pitcher apologized profusely, all of that. So I don't think that's the problem. My problem is when athletes and people in general, when they go on social media and someone says, something bad like, oh, this guy's a wimp, and I'm using my words wisely because I'm on the radio, and then they immediately respond with, I'll meet you in the parking lot type of thing. Like, let's fight. I think that's sad. I think it's sad. I think find me and fight me guy is kind of sad. And I cannot get behind Wilson Contreras telling fans to go fight him. Like, I'm sorry. Maybe this makes me soft, but fighting is not usually the best way to resolve things. So when you tell a fan, hey, come meet me in the parking lot, you lose a little bit of respect in my book. Number one, you shouldn't be telling fans you're going to meet them in the parking lot. And number two, you shouldn't want to fight anyone anyway, in my opinion. Also, I'm just going to throw in Dalton Rushing here. On Sunday, when the coach or Dave Roberts wanted to check on him, he kept shooing him away. I don't know Dalton Rushing, obviously, but he seems like there's a lot of trying to be the definition of the man of what a man he thinks is. If that makes any sense. All right, now they've just trashed Dalton Rushing. I think it's time to go. Thank you very much for everybody listening. I'm sorry about the Padres. We'll be back tomorrow. They have a game tomorrow. Have a great night.
Hey, it's Ben and Woods.